Hello, everyone. Jason Hancombe here, and I am joined by Jimmy the Brick Flick, a new addition to the UFC Flyweight Division. Jimmy will be making his UFC debut next Saturday, December the 5th, against Cody Durden. Jimmy, how are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. Training's winding down. Camp's been amazing. We're ready to go out there and put on a show December 5th.
How has your camp been? You say it's going amazing, but I mean, you've had only, about 3 months since your Contender Series fight. How's everything working out for you?
Oh, man, it's great. They contacted me after my fight. We had a couple options that were a little too short notice that we didn't want to jump on, especially with fighting 3 times already this year with the pandemic. And then we got scheduled to fight Cody in December, and we jumped all over it. We've had a good 10 weeks to get ready for this, and now it's winding down, and it's been great, man. I can't complain.
You mentioned you had other options. What were some of those other options if you want to get into them?
Oh, they were just, short notice fights. They called for the Tyson Nam fight when his opponent, Matt Schnell, dropped out. And just on a week's notice with everything I've been through. And shortly after my Contenders fight, I just didn't want to try to take an opportunity like that too soon. So we're going to go out here, put on a show for Cody Durden. And then after that, hopefully we'll stay ready for all the opportunities that come.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, right now you're fighting in a division that's really picking up steam, especially with last weekend with UFC 255, and then again in the week after your card, actually just UFC 256. I mean, what's it mean for you to be a part of a flyweight division that's got all this momentum when about a year ago it was nearly evaporated from the UFC?
Yeah, it means a lot to me, man, because my career's been up and down between 135 and 125. I've always shined at 125, and I only really have one loss at 125, and that was my first loss to Will Capizano back in LFC. I was 6-0 when I fought him and took a loss to him, and ever since it's been a little 125, catchweight 130, 135 fights, and I even had a 145 fight at one time. And so now that the division is solidified, we got a champ that's going out there making statements. We even got Cody Garbrandt trying to come down and come to the flyweight division. I really hope he does, because if he does, I feel it'll bring more fame to the flyweight division. But our current champ right now, he's a beast. He's a monster, and that's who I'm chasing, man. I want to go out here and put on a show, and then hopefully call for somebody in the top 15.
Yeah, I think it's just exciting. I think this division's really been my comeback story of the year, especially with how it nearly went away. You were a big part of it now, obviously Figueiredo and what have you, but it's nice to see. And then, obviously, Jimmy, a lot of people got their eyes on you on the Contender Series, and, you had the most submission attempts in the history of the Contender Series. You were able to get that 3rd round submission victory on the show. I mean, what was that experience like for you? Because you came in kind of last minute there and was able to really put on one of what I thought one of the most exciting fights of season 4.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's what a lot of people said, man. I was just glad to go out there and put on a show. I had 4 weeks notice. It was 9 days after my LFA title fight, which was only 38 seconds. Got the 2nd fastest win in history for an LFA title, right behind current flyweight Brandon Royval. So that's a guy I would love to fight in the future. Unfortunately, last week his shoulder popped out during the fight. I would have liked to seen how round 2 and round 3 went, but Brandon Morono looked great, and I'm ready to see him fight for the flyweight title versus the champ coming up. They're both having a quick turnaround. That's also good for the flyweight division. So the Tuesday night Contender was awesome. Like you said, I got the most submission attempts. They only gave me 6, but it was way more than 6,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was a great fight. Nate was a tough opponent. And the guy I actually stepped in for was JB Buys. And we seen JB Buys on the Tuesday night Contender a couple of weeks ago, and he got his contract in the UFC. So the flyweight division is building. It's only getting stronger, and I'm excited. I'm here to be part of it.
Well, yeah, you mentioned a name there in JP Buys. If you get by Cody Durden, is that someone you'd like to fight? 2 guys that kind of had their paths kind of crossed, but not really?
Oh, I'm down to fight anybody in the flyweight division. That's what I'm here to do. I'm ready to fight anybody in the flyweight division and prove I'm the best. It doesn't matter who it was. As long as everything lined up, like, I'm ready to fight them all. So after this fight, we hopefully go out there, get the win, and we'll stay ready for everything else, because I know there's flyweights fights booked left and right. We got people dropping out left and right because of COVID. So I want to be prepared for all costs for anybody.
Well, speaking of being prepared, what are you prepared for against Cody Durden? What does he bring to the table? This is a guy in his UFC debut coming off a tough draw. So he hasn't had his win yet in the UFC, and you're looking to obviously prevent him from getting that.
Yeah, he had a great first showing, especially at bantamweight versus Chris Gutierrez, who I actually have a loss to as well earlier in my career. Chris is a tough 135er. I think he just underestimated Cody. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to underestimate him. Me and him's been going back and forth on social media a lot, adding a little buzz to this fight. He trains out of a American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Florida right now. So he's training with some top level guys. So I know he's bringing everything he's got to come get this UFC win. But I've been putting all the work in. I've been doing all my running. I'm waking up every morning, getting my work in, and I don't plan on letting him stop me.
No, for sure. I think this is a fight I'm in particular really excited to see because, you mentioned your LFA victory. That put a lot of eyes on you with the 38-second victory. You make your debut. And, this has been a huge year. You already fought 3 times. You're looking to go 4-0 in 2020. What's that meant to you? Because 2020 has not been a great year for a lot of people, but you career-wise, Jimmy, this has to be one of the best years of your career.
Yes, exactly, man. And you said it right there. A lot of people ain't had a good 2020. I started off in February on leap year of this year, and I fought what was his name, Jesse Bozzi, which is a good opponent. He's got decisions with Eric Shelton and some other top UFC fighters that he went to a decision with, and I subbed him out in the first round. He did take it on short notice as well. And then we got the LFA title. We won the Tuesday night contender, and we've just been staying active during 2020. Oklahoma has been opened up pretty much the whole time for me to be able to get my training in. So I've been pretty lucky for that. And I've been kind of slowing down on my job, working less so I can commit to training more. And hopefully in 2021, it becomes a bigger year.
Yeah, I think we're all excited for that. You mentioned you're, a proud resident of Oklahoma. What's it mean for you right now? Because, Oklahoma breeds these talented athletes, and you're now another one of them. What's it mean for you to be, representing the UFC from your town out there in Oklahoma?
Well, being the first one from my hometown of Sand Springs, Oklahoma means the world to me. I come from a very little bitty town. I grew up very poor growing up too, but my dad kept me in sports, kept me in wrestling, kept me active as an athlete, and I really praise him for that. Got me into jiu-jitsu at 17 years old, and my careers just took off from there. So to represent Oklahoma, and not only Oklahoma, but Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and be the first UFC fighter from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, I just want to go to show kids that, your dreams can come true no matter where you're from.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's, I know a lot of people growing up from a small town, that's the same kind of thing. And it's exciting to see for yourself as well, Jimmy. And, your moment on the Contender Series that I want to talk to you about is after you got the contract, you screamed, "I'm going to Build-A-Bear." Has Build-A-Bear reached out for you? Because I think that's an instant sponsorship opportunity.
Well, unfortunately, no, they haven't, man. And we went and dropped quite a few hundred over there on my little girls. And, but hey, man, it wasn't about that, man. It was for my girls, man. I put a lot of training into these fights. Not only do I work a full-time job to take care of my family, and we're working on opening my wife a business because she's a nail technician. And COVID's kind of put that on hold right now. So I got a lot on my plate, but I make sure I get my work in. I wake up early in the morning when my kids and my wife's asleep. Sometimes when I get home, they're already back asleep. So it means a lot to just be able to go and do little things like that for my girls. And I knew they weren't watching live because I never let them watch my fight live because I know anything can happen in a fight. We're in a fight. So after the fight, they got to watch it. It was awesome. And it's a dream come true just to be able to do little things like that for my girls.
You get the win on a Saturday, whether it's by finish or decision, you're going to scream going to Build-A-Bear again? Because I think there's some momentum there, Jimmy.
We might, that was just kind of just one of the last little minute things. Because usually after my fight, I always tell my little girl, we're going to go get a big toy, not one of these $5-10 toys, after I fight, the thing is to go get a big toy. And I had talked to him that week, and my 8-year-old had said something about her, and my 3-year-old wanted to go to Build-A-Bear. And then during the interview, it just clicked, man. So, and it happened. So we'll see what happens not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Go out there, do some work, and you never know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think we're all excited for you, Jimmy. Well, best of luck come December the 5th against Cody Durden. Before I let you go out there and plug your sponsorship. I see you out there on social media working hard to get some recognition in your sponsor. You're still a down south home guy working hard to get the sponsorships and having the best year of your career.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and if it wasn't for my sponsors, I would still be at work day in and day out. So I give a shout out to Harvest Health for all the support. Just Run It, the Plug 918, Big Elks Energy and Gas, Core Hog, HKA USA, the Office on Main in Sand Springs. They'll be having a watch party. Keystone Chevrolet in Sand Springs, Thunder Kick Tulsa, Primary Colors Retro Relics, Code Zero Customs, Fighting for Autism. I'm official ambassador for Fighting for Autism, Evolved Health and Wellness, Simpsons Truck Line, Tulsa Sport Acupuncture, Forza Combat Sports, Blue Line Signs, CrossFit Sand Springs, Paint It Right Tulsa, Ryan and Rose Roofing, Micah Stockton with New York Life, Seth with Keller Williams Realty, Tulsa Guttering, the Beer Drinking Club, Broadway Barber Shop, Tulsa Plastic Company, my job, Gary's Diesel Truck and Trailer Services, All Britain Plumbing, Industrial Motor Services, and, of course, my beautiful wife for everything that she does. And I just thank you for having me on here, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, Jimmy. Well, best of luck to you on Saturday. I think, big things to continue to happen for you. And, you're a great guy to talk to, got a lot of personality, and look forward to talking to you again. So once again, best of luck on December the 5th against Cody Durden.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And if y'all want to follow me on my fan page, Jimmy the Brick Flick, or on Instagram at the Brick MMA, I'd appreciate it.
All right, that's Jimmy the Brick Flick. He takes on Cody Durden December the 5th in his UFC debut.